Welcome to Beautiful You, a show that's designed to inspire, motivate, and empower you to be your authentic best. We invite you to join us on this journey of self-discovery, and we hope that over the next 30 minutes you find just one thing that will remind you that to be truly beautiful, you just have to be you. Coming up on today's show, we asked Dr. Jeffrey Adelglass of Skintastic what are some great treatments that mothers and daughters can do together. And Dawn Neufeld joins us to share details about Roundup for Autism. Then we sat down with the love coach, Jennifer Styers, to find out exactly how to find our true love. And our friends over at the Hair Bar show us how to create those fabulous sock buns that we've been seeing on all the runways. But first, get ready for some core exercises, because Doug Rice is going to show us how to get our stomachs ready for summer fashions. Summer fashions this season include things like peekaboo tops, and I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I need anyone to see my tummy just yet. So I'm at the gym with certified personal trainer Doug Rice to make sure that if I do wear a peekaboo top this summer, my stomach looks good. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Leanne.
Oh, you know, I think I ate way too much over the fall, and I'm just not ready for their doing the little sheer bottoms where you can see your stomach. And
well, that's what I'm here to help.
Okay, great, good.
I'm going to show you today an exercise. It's called an inchworm to plank.
Inchworm to plank.
Right. So there's two different parts of it. I'll show you how to do it, but it helps work that whole core area, not just the abs. I know that's a really important part.
It is.
But the whole core, which wraps all the way around your lower body.
Which includes your lower back.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes when I used to do crunches, my back would hurt so bad, and I really felt like I was hurting my back and not my stomach.
Crunches are so 90s. We're fine. You're definitely going to like this even more, and you're going to find it challenging, and it's going to work.
I love it. Inchworm to plank. Show me how it's done.
All right.
Okay, so you're going to inch your way out to a plank and then inch your way back?
You catch on fast.
Yay!
That's why you're the host.
Oh, you're right.
All right,
Okay.
so here's how you do it.
Okay.
So you hinge at the hips,
Okay.
very small bend in the knee, and you just crawl it forward, go all the way down to your elbows, come right back up, ride the hips back up, keeping the abs braced throughout, put your hands back on your hips. Inchworm to plank combo. It's
Okay,
time for you.
is there anything, a position that's not, that you know you're not doing it right?
Well, if you don't get your body nice and straight, if your belly button's not drawn back to the spine to keep the core engaged, those are the things that you want to concentrate on. Very small bend in the knee.
And when you plank, you want to make sure you stay flat and not
Yes,
butt in the air
you
or
don't
dip
want the
down.
butt should not pike up. That's
Okay.
correct.
All right. So hands on the hips, bend. Down, inch your way forward.
Yes.
On the elbows.
Yes.
Up.
Crawl it
inch
back
your way
up.
back.
Good.
And
a little less bend in the knee, but that was good. Let's go. Let's go. Do it
release
again.
down.
Look at you.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh my
Leanne,
gosh!
ladies and gentlemen, here she goes.
You can feel this in your core, man.
Yes,
Woo!
you can. Good job.
Woo, I could see how that could really work out your core. Okay, well, if you love the inchworm to plank, or well, if you want to see what else Doug has to offer, check out his website at bootcamp90210.com. Wow.
Amy, cellulite knows no boundaries in terms of age, money, religion. All women get cellulite. And there is really no easy way to prevent it. There are a lot of things that we do to help improve the appearance of cellulite. One of those is the Apollo. And what the Apollo does, it uses heat to heat up the tissues, enforce them, and it makes your cellulite look better. This is done over 5 to 6 treatments, and it is painless and will make you look beach ready.
Finding love in today's times is not an easy thing to do, so we're excited to have Jennifer Styers with us today. She's a relationship coach, and we're going to discuss love and how to find it. Welcome, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you.
So I guess the question on everyone's mind with all these reality shows about love is, why is love so hard to find?
You know, the place that people need to look for love is within themselves. And there's a process that needs to happen first. Love really is very simple, Ian. It's very, very simple, but people complicate it, especially women.
Oh, really?
Especially, I think women are so analytical. They get in their heads about things and analyze things. And what tends to happen is they overanalyze. And I hear men say it all the time. I mean, it's just, they'll make something very, very small into something very, very big in a relationship. So, it's a matter of sometimes shutting the mind down.
And just letting it happen.
And just letting love happen, because it's very simple and it's very, very natural.
So let's say that you find someone. Have the rules of dating changed these days?
That's what messes people up, is this whole rule thing. And with technology, we're really facing some challenges because of the text message rule. How soon after a date can you text message or call the person? And there's all these games and rules that people have applied. And when it really comes to relationships, there are really no rules. I do think there's an energy, and we can talk about that needs to be present, because I think love is a dance. And so you don't want to come on too strong or too weak, but there really are no rules. And I think that we need to learn to follow our gut and our instincts a little bit more.
I love that, without overanalyzing.
Yes.
You're right. Love is individual to each individual. Love doesn't fit in a mold, and I think so many of us are trying to fit love in a mold.
Right.
Why do you think people are choosing the wrong way?
I think that, number one, love is an individual thing. How we love, how you love, how I love, how each of us love, and what we come into a relationship with is all very different. There is no mold.
Yeah.
And I think where people go wrong is when they get into a new relationship, they have an expectation for people to do something, say something, be something they're not, instead of just being present and saying, who are you? And let me show you who I am. That vulnerability issue is a big thing too. A precursor to love is being vulnerable, is being able to show yourself. But if you don't know yourself,
then how do you show yourself?
That's right. And I think people have gotten so used to hiding. Like, here's something damaged, or here's, a childhood wound that I have, thinking that 2 years down the road, that person's not going to see it, but they are.
But they will, because it's always there.
It's always there.
And you're right about, I think people get into relationships and they think, okay, you're not perfect, but I can change you.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and you know what? We can't fix anybody, and I know women do it more than men for some reason.
They
What
do.
is it, like we get a puppy or something and we think that we can, we can mold it into what we want? I always say with women have built doll houses since they were kids. You have Barbie Ken, the dollhouse. And there really is no dollhouse, meaning that when you meet somebody, you've got to take all your preconceived notions about life and love and a relationship and really be present with the person that's in front of you. You're building the dollhouse together. It's a process. And the minute that you try to put an expectation on that person and make them into being somebody that they're not, or being somebody that you're not, then you take the element of the ease and the love and the balance out of love.
Yeah. So how does one go about finding love?
Well, I think the process is first getting to know ourselves. We have to know who we are going into a relationship, and not so much who society says we are, or who our previous boyfriends and girlfriends said we are, and our friends say we are, and our family. It's about really knowing on a soul level who we are and what we bring. What gifts do we have? How do we love? What are our needs? I always recommend the book, The 5 Love Languages, to my clients, because knowing our love languages and how we need to receive love and how we give love is really, really important. And we need to be able to recognize it, because not everybody loves the same. And so finding love is a matter of stripping away what you know about it, and going into a new relationship and a new meeting with somebody with fresh eyes. And not looking at them as marriage material, as so many women do on a first date.
Don't.
Right?
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's not an interview process. That's a new friend, possibly. You're just getting to know somebody. And don't worry. Ask them whatever you want, whatever comes. I think the element of authenticity is so beautiful in getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, the best relationships happen when your guard is down. And
That's true.
and it's just two
Organic.
people. It's totally organic, and you're just getting to know who that person is and not worrying about impressing them. Because I think authenticity and genuineness impresses people, men and women, both the same.
Do you think that men and women are looking for the same thing when they look for love?
I do. I think that I do think they're looking for the same thing. I think there's different qualities sometimes, but I think at the end of the day, we're all looking to be known, to be seen, for our soul to be seen. And women go into relationships and they don't realize that men are looking for that too. Men want that safe place to go. They want that place where they can cry. They want the place where they can be vulnerable, where they can let themselves be seen. You know, we're open. We're not afraid to bare our souls. We do it to our girlfriends all the time.
All the time.
If women could just stop talking to men like they're some foreign creatures and realize that it's just like you're having your girlfriend, your best girlfriend next to you, because your partner should be your best friend.
There you have it. If you are looking for love or you want to make the love that you have even better, you can always find Jennifer online at www.jenniferstyers.com. What a great conversation. Thank you for coming out today.
So tell me, what do you want to do today?
Well, last time they showed me a really great ponytail look, and I was going to see if you could show me something different.
Okay, so are you still thinking about wearing your hair up tonight?
Yes.
Okay, well, I feel like right now a lot of sock buns are very popular. A lot of girls are doing them because they're very easy to do on yourself. I have a different way that I do it if you would like for me to show it to you.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Awesome. Well, basically what we're going to do is I'm going to start by finding a ponytail for you. So depending on where your layers sit, obviously if you have more layers, you're not going to be able to do as high of a ponytail because your hair will fall out. So you just want to find a spot on your head that works good for you. You're going to take the ponytail, you'll tease it, and you'll just wrap it smooth around with a little bit of hairspray.
That sounds pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get it started. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get a smooth ponytail. You want to make sure that there are no lumps and bumps in it. You want to have a nice, cohesive, smooth pony to work with before you start wrapping.
Okay.
If it's not smooth to start, it's just going to get more and more kind of unruly. So that really just ensures that it's going to stay. So then basically what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to take your ponytail, now that I've got it where I want it on your head, and you're just going to take sections through the ponytail and tease them. So then now that I have this big teased mess, what you want to do is you just want to kind of pull it forward and start slowly kind of wrapping it around the ponytail. What you'll do is you'll just kind of smooth the top layer so it gives you a nice veil and covering over the tease so it doesn't look like a big rat's nest. And then you'll push the bun down and really just shape it to the shape that you want. I always like to hook the bobby pins back through where you put the ponytail because it just adds a little extra security and makes sure that those bobby pins aren't going to move. Mm-hmm. The last thing you want to do is be at a party and have bobby pins flying out of your head everywhere. Yeah. It's not a good look for anybody. So now that I have the basic bun in there, you just want to kind of take something to smooth it back down. So once again, I'll use my teasing brush and I'll just use the end of it to kind of nicely build the bun that I want to see. And now that I have the bun that I want, I just want to take care of all of the frizz on the sides. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a nice firm holding hairspray. I'm just going to spray it into my hand and kind of nicely tuck everything back up away. And it just gives a nice finish to around your face, but it still kind of keeps the unruly texture of the bun. So it's going to be more of like a lived-in everyday look as opposed to like a very classic, you know, updo. It's more modern this way. I'm just going to add a bit to the bun. And I'm going to get my trusty teasing brush back out and I'm just going to smooth down any flyaways on top of that. And this is really my desired look. Here, I want to show you the back.
Oh yeah. It's not too sleek, but it looks just right.
Yeah, I love it.
A little messy.
Thank you so much for coming back in, Ashley.
Thank you very much
for
showing me.
When it comes to cosmetic procedures and wanting to look youthful, we often think of women wanting to do that. Well, with all the women looking so good these days, it's about time for the men to catch up. So we came over to Skintastic to sit down with Dr. Jeffrey Adelglass to find out what exactly the men can do to look so good. Hi, Dr. A.
Hi, Leanne.
I'm so excited that men are finally catching on the train of wanting to look good.
They are. Men are really a growing portion of my practice, and actually men are my best patients.
Really?
Because once they do something, they are so much in love with it, and their partners love the way they look.
Yeah.
So they love to come back.
They're committed.
They're committed. They come back and they just say, do it again.
Yeah.
Let's do it. The number one thing they do is what we call Brotox.
I love that. Brotox, not Botox.
That's it. Brotox is Botox for men.
I love that.
And they do it in really many of the same areas. A lot of men, are looking at computer screens all day. They're straining. They have frown lines. And every woman wants the man to look happy.
Look happy, it's true.
They don't want him to frown. So doing frown lines is a number one area.
I love that, because I can imagine being a head of household is quite stressful.
It is. And these men want to look young, relaxed. They don't want the tension of the day to show.
What's another thing that you recommend? A little laser hair removal?
A little laser hair removal, that's another thing. Men don't like to be seen sweating. You know how in some professions, for example, waiters, people who are in high stress businesses where they take off their coats at business meetings, they don't want to show sweating under the arms.
Well, and summer's coming. I really don't know how guys wear suits during the summers in Texas.
That's an important thing. The back of the neck many times. Men love to do that because it's very hard to shave.
Yeah.
And they have that smooth, cool look. So laser hair treatment for men is really catching on.
Okay, I love that. Ben, you never think about the back of the neck. I imagine that when they laser off the hair off the back of their neck, it makes their haircuts last longer too.
It makes their haircuts last longer, and it gives them a sharper demarcation between the hair and the neck, gives them a taller, leaner, cleaner look.
Oh, I love that. And I bet that looks amazing when they're walking away.
Better when they're walking towards you.
I was going to say, do you do laser hair on the face also if a man doesn't want to shave every day?
We do, and the important thing to do with that is do it before it's too late. Once it turns gray, it's much harder to do than when it's black.
Okay.
So if men are going to do that, and many men don't want necessarily a full treatment, they just want to do problem areas so you can lighten the amount of hair. They don't have to take away all their hair. Other men want to do all their hair.
Men like to show off their six packs, and not everybody has them. So what do you recommend for that?
Well, we do a number of things. We have both surgical and non-surgical procedures that we can do. We do things like Apollo, which helps to tighten skin and make men much more attractive. If someone wants a true six-pack, we do something called high-def liposuction, which makes them look like a gym rat.
Wow.
And this is done by liposuction. We have special tools we use to actually shape men and give them a six-pack.
That is incredible. So what do you say to men who want to come in and maybe they're a little older and they're not feeling as youthful energy-wise, their energy levels?
Well, beauty is on the outside, but in order to really showcase that beauty, both men and women need to feel good. And one thing that we do at Skintastic is hormone optimization. And hormones, especially something like testosterone for men, plays a very, very important role. And testosterone has so many effects on the body. It's not only the things that you think of every day, but it's cognitive thought, it's memory, its ability to balance their life. As one gets older, it's much more difficult to do the same things that they used to. And there are many, many reasons for this, but one of them is the decline in hormones. We see this among women as well. And what we do to solve this is we use a little implantable pellet that's implanted once every 3 to 4 months, depending upon the man or the woman.
Yeah.
And what it does, it gives them back that lust for life.
That energy.
The energy, their memory, all the things that people lose over time. This helps them to bring it back. It doesn't bring back everything.
No,
It's not a cure-all.
But will you guarantee me that when I walk into the room to get something, I'll remember whatever that was I walked into the room for?
Absolutely. It's great for both men and women.
I got that. So it's good to know. Okay, so the last thing that you recommend for men is maybe even a little filler. There are men who especially are out in the sun a lot, right?
Absolutely. Filler, we see lines in both men and women. And men tend to have a lot of wrinkles, a lot of loss of volume from working out, being in the sun. And we could replace this with filler. It's a 10-minute procedure, could make them look 5 to 10 years younger in 15 minutes.
I have seen a before and after of a filler on a man, and it's amazing the amount of age that it can really take off. It's almost more noticeable in a man than it is in a woman with fillers.
It really is, and men especially want to look young. Not only for personal life, but for professional life. So it's very important for men to look young, and it gives them the feeling young. They work harder, work smarter when everyone tells them how great they look, how young they look.
Gotta love it. Well, those are some great procedures for men. I definitely will recommend it to my man.
Well, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. A. Well, there you have it, men. If you'd like to find out about the services that are designed just for you, contact Skintastic today at either their Uptown location or their one in Plano. I am so excited to have our guest in the studio with us today, Dawn Neufeld. She's not only beautiful on the outside, she is stunning on the inside, and she's here to talk about Roundup for Autism. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you, Leanne.
So how did you get involved with Roundup for Autism?
We got a call from Neil Massey over at the Autism Treatment Center. He had seen us out in the community doing some autism awareness, and seeing that my husband is a former ex-football player, and I do a lot of stuff in television. He thought we'd be good honorary chair people for the event, and so we did last year, and it was wonderful.
Autism, the cause, is close to your heart. Tell us why.
Our son Will was diagnosed when he was around 3. We saw some symptoms earlier on, but we got an official diagnosis around 3, and he's on the spectrum, and he's doing awesome. And we've kind of gone from not having much hope to having a tremendous amount of hope in terms of what he's going to be able to achieve in life. And so that's what we try and share with people.
And as long as you're putting that positive message out there about autism, it seems today that autism is on the rise.
1 in 88 children are being diagnosed, and there was even a more recent study that came out that said 1 in 50. Wow. 1 in 50 children being diagnosed on the spectrum. So if you don't have someone or know someone that directly affects you with autism, you know someone who does.
Exactly.
It's around us everywhere.
It is. So tell us a little bit about Roundup for Autism. It's a 2-day event?
A 2-day event, and it's really, really awesome. It was started by Bobby Norris. His daughter is on the spectrum.
Okay.
And she was diagnosed several decades ago when there weren't a lot of resources. I think at the time it was probably 1 in 10,000 being diagnosed.
Wow.
So he wanted to do something to provide some place safe where his daughter can be treated. And so they created this really fun event. There's a huge rodeo followed by a black tie gala, and
wow.
it is just fantastic.
How fun. So now at the rodeo event, people can come out and you see a lot of families with autistic children at the event, right?
Absolutely.
Riding horses.
Absolutely. They do it out there at the Fort Worth Stockyards, and there's a huge celebration. You see all the cows and everything coming through the streets, and the cowboys on their horses, and they get inside, and there are celebrities involved. So it's really fun and an exciting way to raise money for the Autism Treatment Center.
I love that. And then the next night it's followed by, of course, the formal and beautiful evening, the big gala.
Yes.
And that's a wonderful time where people can actually buy tickets to the event to help support Roundup for Autism.
That's correct. And this year is going to be the 25th year they're doing this event. And you know, being in the situation you are, 25 years for an event is a
long
big deal.
time. That's huge.
And they raise a ton of money for the Autism Treatment Centers of Texas. You know, it's a gala, but there are guys in there with their cowboy hats on, and it is just so much fun. Live auction, silent auction, everything you can imagine from a wonderful gala. And of course, Bobby Norris and his wife do such a great job of raising awareness and raising money to make sure the residents and children who are treated through the Autism Treatment Center can get these services. And it's really phenomenal what they do.
How sweet. Okay, when is this year's event?
Okay, September 20th and 21st.
Okay.
And again, on the 20th, that's the night that's out at the Fort Worth Stockyards.
Okay.
It's so much fun out there doing all that. And then the next night is the gala, the 21st, and it's going to be at the Fairmont downtown.
Now, are both events ticketed, or is the rodeo open or ticketed?
They're both ticketed, and you can get more information at roundupforautism.org.
And there you have it, folks. Roundup for Autism, September 20th and 21st. They're both ticketed, and you can find out all the information you need at roundupforautism.org. And even if you can't make the event, please, please, please go to their website and consider giving a donation. These children really could use your help. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing with us.
No problem.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Beautiful You, and we hope that you found just something on this journey of self-discovery today that inspired you. For even more inspiration, go like us on Facebook at Beautiful You-HDTV. To find out what's coming up on next week's show, check us out on Twitter at Beautiful You-HD. And to see behind-the-scene pictures, get amazing offers from our guests, and even extended interviews, go to our website at beautifulyou-hdtv.com. We'll see you next week for another episode of Beautiful You. And remember one thing this week: you are beautiful.